class, we can study Chapter 8, Indian Economic Development, Infrastructure, Question Answers. Okay, solutions of question and answers. Here, in first question, explain the infrastructure. The term infrastructure refers to the underlying tangible and organizational structures that are essential for smooth and prosperous function of an economy. Then infrastructure means basic things required for prosperous functioning of an economy. In other words, infrastructure is regarded as core support system that enables an economy to grow and develop. Generally, the term infrastructure means technical structures such as roads, transport, communication, bridges, dam, power, public institutions like schools, hospitals, etc. Okay, then these are the basic infrastructures: road, transport, railway, bridges, dam, then schools, hospitals. These all things, public institution, all are basic infrastructure. These structures not only serve as basic input for various economic activities like production, investment, but also enable economy to break shackles of traditional primitive social structures and customs. Then it is working as basic inputs for production, investment, etc. Okay, the difference between developed country and an underdeveloped country can mainly attribute to the lack of sufficient and technically advanced infrastructure in the latter. Infrastructure has twofold benefits as inputs and as support. Then infrastructure means it works as a input and as a support. Infrastructure as a input like road, bank, power facilities, power supply facilitates the production process and attracts investment from domestic as well as foreign investors. Means this road, bank, power supply, it will attract investors, domestic as well as foreign investors. Infrastructure as a support system such as school, hospital develops the Human Development Index, and health facilities and technical education, these things promoting the living standard of people. Okay, hence it can be concluded that the presence of quality and sufficient infrastructure is necessary and sufficient condition for accomplishing economic growth and development. Then infrastructure have an important role in economic facility. Next question, explain the two categories of infrastructure which are divided how. Okay, answer is infrastructure is broadly classified under two categories: economic infrastructure and social infrastructure. Economic infrastructure changes the aid in the process of production and distribution. It improves the quality of economic resources, productivity. In this way, it serves as a support system to economic growth. Energy, transportation, communication, banking, financial institutions are some of the examples of economic infrastructure. Greater economic infrastructure, greater will be the production and more generation of employment opportunities. Thus, expenditure incurred on the economic infrastructure can be regarded as a necessary condition for economic growth. Okay, then energy, transportation, communication, banking, financial institution, these are coming under the economic infrastructure. Okay, next one is social infrastructure. It refers to those facilities and institutions that enhances the quality of human capital, educational institution, hospitals, nursing homes, housing facilities, etc. Okay, some of the examples of social infrastructures. These are the main examples of social education institution, hospital, nursing homes, housing facilities. These are the main example for social infrastructure. Okay, this social infrastructure indirectly increase the productivity and production of goods and services. Example, availability of better healthcare, medical facilities enable perennial supply of health workforce that in turn reflected in the form of increased production levels. Okay, then both economic and social infrastructures are interdependent and complementary to each other. While economic infrastructure fosters economic growth, social infrastructure enhances the quality of standard of living and thereby leads to the welfare of economy as a whole. Okay, then infrastructure, two type is there, social and economic infrastructure. Economic infrastructure means it will help the process of production and distribution. Which are the economic infrastructure? Energy, transportation, communication, banking, financial institutions. Social infrastructure refers to those facilities, institutions enhances the quality of human capital or human development. Which are the social infrastructures? Educational institutions, hospitals, nursing homes, housing facilities, schools, colleges, all these things are coming under social infrastructure. Okay, then both are interdependent. Then this one infrastructure supports the other production. Okay, the role of infrastructure in economic production can be understood with the help of an example. We can go through an example. Agriculture is devoid of irrigation facilities, then it would entirely depend on the monsoon. That may hamper its production and productivity. If agriculture sector completely depending on monsoon, it will badly affect that agriculture sector. As irrigation is essential to enhance productivity of agricultural sector, in same way infrastructure also essential for smooth production of all sectors of economy. Industrial production in the absence of proper transportation may lead to delay in the movement of raw materials. We know industries require raw materials, finished goods. They need to transport finished goods and capital goods. Then if transportation facility is not there, it will badly affect the industrial production. Okay. Thus, infrastructure is the necessary condition for higher productivity and higher production. Infrastructure contributes to the economic development of a country. Do you agree? Explain it. Okay. Then answer, it's obviously correct. Yes, infrastructure acts as a support system for production activity in the economy, thereby contributes economic development. The following points will further explain the role of infrastructure in the economic development of a country. Infrastructure increases productivity. First one, infrastructure increases productivity. Infrastructure social economic facilitates production. This social and economic infrastructure facilitates production. The availability of quality infrastructure guarantees increase in production. Infrastructure ensures easy movements of goods and raw materials and reducing inefficiencies and lead to efficient utilization of scarce resources and eliminate wastage. Next one, infrastructure encourage investment. Infrastructure provides an environment conducive to investment. Lack of facilities discourages investment. Suppose, example, an investor will not invest in the absence of basic infrastructure such as transportation and communication. Next one, infrastructure generate linkages in production. Infrastructure promotes economic development by way of various linkages, forward and backward linkages. In other words, infrastructure provides scope and expansion of one industry due to the expansion of the other by way of forward and backward linkages. Means infrastructure providing linkages especially by the way of forward and backward linkages. The process of economic growth is important for infrastructure facilities. Then this can be explained with the forward linkage. Example, irrigation facilities boost agricultural production, and the industries depends on agriculture for the supply of raw materials, simultaneously experience increased production. Okay, then infrastructure generate linkage in production. Next point, infrastructure enhance size of market. Infrastructure widens the size of market. The fast and cost-effective movement of the raw materials and finished goods in bulk enables producer to offer his product across the country and even across the international boundaries. It enables producers offer products. It means they will get if proper transportation facility is there, means they can supply their finished goods in our country and across the country and across international boundaries.